Hi, Lee Phillips here. I'm an attorney, and like I always say, don't hold that against me. What I want to talk about with you for 2 seconds is where are you going to form your corporation or your LLC, your company. And I run into this all the time. People attend seminars, and you got to have it in Nevada, you got to have it in New Mexico, that's the new one. You got to have it in Colorado or Wyoming. Wyoming is where LLCs were created, so you might as well have it in the hometown. Where do you form your LLC or your corporation? Never sucker for the Wyoming, the Colorado, the New Mexico, the Utah, or any place else. Let me tell you why. Because no matter where you create your company, Nevada has more privacy. I forgot about that. And Nevada doesn't have any taxes. Well, actually, they do have corporate LLC taxes now. Some anyway. Let's see. I don't know why you should form your corporation LLC in these other states, but they all have a good reason. Here's the problem. You form your LLC, your corporation in Nevada. Fine, you got a Nevada corporation. What you're doing is you're paying your $350 a year or whatever it is in Nevada, plus the state that you actually file in, you need a registered agent. Now that could be you, if you happen to be a resident of that state, or it could be the office where you actually have a business. It has to be someplace where the sheriff can show up, give you service, and say, you're sued. And that's all it has to be. But if you own a rental unit in Tennessee, and that's all you have in Tennessee, you don't want that to be the address, because the funny thing is, who's going to be suing you? It's the tenant. If the tenant gets service, he might forget to give you the service, don't you think? So you have to have a registered agent. And so this whole industry has grown up, started in Nevada, where you have registered agents. They promote the state for some reason. There's a big group going around now saying you should have your LLC in Utah, and they only charge you $8,000 and you get 5 LLCs. One, Utah is one of the poorer states in the union to have your LLC in. I'm from Utah. I know that. Why would you do it? Because they say you should. That's why. Well, as soon as you incorporate or put your LLC in one of these other states, and you have your LLC in Nevada, and then you have your rental unit or your company in Florida. Well, you're going to have to register that Nevada company in Florida. And you're going to have to pay all Florida's fees. You're going to be subject to all Florida's laws. They're never going to sue you in Nevada. The tenant that's in the unit in Florida is always going to sue you in Florida. They got you in Florida. And guess what, guys? If you don't register in Florida, I ain't going to pay my rent. And there's nothing you can do about it. Because as a Nevada company, a Nevada LLC or corporation, you have no legal standing, no rights in Florida. You're not a resident of Florida. And you can't foreclose on the tenant in Florida. You can't collect on the tenant in Florida. You can't sue the tenant in Florida. You can't do anything. You have no rights in that state. So you have to register in the state. It's just as expensive to register in the state as if you originally formed your LLC or your corporation in Florida. And you still do have to have a registered agent, but you probably live in Florida. So you can be the registered agent, and you don't have to pay the guy his $500 in Nevada every year, or his $1,500, or his $5,000, or whatever it is. They have a register, you can get the big package. And so as soon as you register in Florida, you're subject to all of Florida's laws. I don't care if you have privacy in Nevada. The registered agent can actually own the corporation in Nevada. Guess what? When the registered agent actually owns the corporation in Nevada, they own the corporation. And I've seen several cases where the company was going good, And they decided, yeah, we own this company. We like it. You don't own the company. You have no rights to the company. They own it. Oh, that's the ultimate privacy, isn't it? So, now let me think again. No taxes in Nevada. That's right. But wait a minute. If you're collecting the rent or you're selling the widgets in Florida or Tennessee or New York or wherever it is, guess what? That's where you pay the taxes. I don't care about Nevada. Yeah, you have to file a Nevada tax return, but all the taxes are going to be paid in the state where you are doing business or where the rental unit is, the property is. That's where you pay the taxes. I could care less about Nevada. They don't have to come to Nevada to sue you. You pay the taxes in the other state. Now, exactly why did we incorporate in Nevada? I don't know. Now, I'll give it to you. 50 years ago, when I first started out, Nevada had some pretty good laws, and you could take advantage of some of Nevada's stuff. But everybody else in the nation is pretty much caught up with them. And there's no use going to Nevada to even do business because, it's almost as good to do business in Florida, and why go to all the expense of going to Nevada? And by the way, there's some cute little bippies. If you are in California, for example, and you have your company in Nevada, and you own you don't even have to own a rental unit in Florida. You don't have to own anything in Florida. If you have your company in Nevada, it does all of its business in Nevada, makes all of its money in Nevada, has nothing to do with California. Guess what? California law says if you own more than 25% of that company, you have to register it in California and pay the $850 a year and everything else, because the sheer fact that you are an owner of the company means that you are a California citizen, and that company is now doing business in California. And if you don't pay the $850 a year fee, they have a $3,000 fee penalty that they catch up with you on. And they get it because you get a K-1 from this company that's in Nevada. The sheer fact that you own it, you register in California. So why did I ever do anything in a state where I, one, don't own property, or two, don't do business? There is absolutely no reason. It's a scam. Would you like me to sugarcoat it for you now, or tell it to you bluntly? Don't. This is Lee Phillips. Where are you going to put your corporation, your LLC? In the state where you're doing business or where you own the property?